let's try this again. But basically, birth can be terrifying, especially as you enter the last trimester of pregnancy and it's unknown when it's going to happen. And there's my child. There's a lot of unknowns. You don't know when you're going to go into labor. You don't know what it's going to feel like if it's your first child, or if, for me, I didn't really know what natural labor was going to feel like the second time around, because the first time I had preeclampsia. And my first full-term pregnancy, fears would come up and I would just stuff them down. And I kind of bought into that, like, just fill your mind with the positive birth stories and you'll be good and you'll have a positive experience, and don't pay attention to the negative. And actually what I've learned after having a redemption birth with my second, with this guy, don't want that. That was what I was subconsciously calling in. And you might think that whole concept is woo-woo, but I've lived it, I've experienced it. And I just have this knowing in me that, I've just learned a lot in these two processes, and I feel like it's just important to share this with people. We pregnant women are so inundated with all these, people want to tell you their negative birth stories or their scary birth stories or just things that aren't super helpful. And I really solidified working through those fears and learned kind of what not to do in my first birth. And, I went from a 24-hour traumatic first birth to an 8-hour, start to finish second birth at the birth center. I know that I have this wealth of knowledge and what I've learned through, my first birth and my second birth, and what not to do, and what really helped me have the birth that I want. And I'm confident in my ability to help other people do that. So if you want to join the live, it's on my Patreon. You can join live for $5.55, and that way you can ask questions. Or if you don't really care to ask questions but you still want to watch the live, then that'll live on my Patreon, and that tier is $2. So pick whatever sounds good to you, if this offer sounds nice. And yeah, I'm just excited to share my wealth of knowledge on this, because like I said, I just feel like I've learned so much, and I want to help other people either shift the traumatic first birth or have a really amazing first birth without trauma. December 5th, 5:55 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on my Patreon, Dispelling Fear in Childbirth, if I didn't say that already. And I just wanted to make it all fives. I like fives, and then it just makes it easy to remember. And what I'll be doing on my Patreon moving forward is a live every month on the 5th of the month at 5:55 p.m. Mountain Time, and just make it easy to remember, easy to show up, and just share my wealth of knowledge.